saw the guy walking in the water. I saw it.
Anything is possible.
In this video, I will reveal Dynamo's walking on water magic trick. Here's a quick recap of what happened. Dynamo opens a riverside gate along the Thames embankment and walks down the steps toward the water. He steps onto a small floating pontoon at the river's edge, then calmly steps off it and into the Thames, where he appears to walk across the surface of the water. Crowds line the embankment, watching in disbelief as he pauses mid-river. Moments later, police speedboats arrive, approach him on the water and escort him away, bringing the stunt to a sudden end. Most of you already know how this works, but there's a piece of crowd footage from the live performance you probably haven't seen, and it confirms the explanation you're already thinking of. Watch this.
ওই যে গ্লাস ভেঙে গেছে পোস্টটা হইলো না রে
Yes, there was a hidden platform just below the water, and the police speedboat hit it as it tried to leave. The propeller was damaged, and the boat was left drifting in full view with Dynamo still inside as the river slowly turned it around. But the bystander footage shows more than just that failure. If you compare the real clip of the boat rotating to what's shown in the episode, there's a clear mismatch. In the broadcast version, the boat turns much earlier because that shot was refilmed the next day at roughly the same time. At this point, it's clear there was a plexiglass structure positioned just beneath the surface of the water. It was set low enough that Dynamo's feet remained slightly submerged, which is why he wasn't actually walking on top of the water, so technically speaking, he was walking just below the surface. The hidden platform begins near the floating jetty, runs diagonally across the river, and ends exactly where Dynamo is last seen. That's why the stunt finishes with the police officers, who are clearly part of it, stepping in to escort him away. If he'd walked back the same way, it would have made it obvious he was on a platform, as if the failed performance hadn't already given it away. But there's one question all of you have in mind. You've seen the masked magician explain the walking on water trick, but that was in a swimming pool. What no one really explains is how you build something like that in a flowing river. If you want early videos and exclusive reveals, come join me on Patreon. It's free to stay updated, and there's a $1 option if you want to support, but even if you don't want to pay, at least join for free. Check the pinned comment below for more important announcements. The key is that the engineers don't need to drain the river to build under it. The Thames is only about 7 meters deep, which is shallow by engineering standards. Crews regularly build platforms, piers, and scaffolding in much deeper water without a problem. They work directly in the river using divers and equipment made for wet environments, just like installing docks or underwater structures. So, in simpler words, the water stays put and the construction happens inside it. Engineers first install a simple support structure on the riverbed. This support works like short legs or a low frame, firmly resting on the bottom so all weight is carried straight down into the ground. The supports are carefully set to a precise height, so the finished surface will sit just below the water level. Once the supports are in place, clear acrylic sheets that were cut and prepared on land are lowered into the water. When finished, the platform behaves like a normal solid floor, stable, rigid, and strong enough for a person to walk on. The illusion works because water has a refractive index of about 1.33 and acrylic about 1.49, which are close enough that light bends in a similar way through both materials. Behind this mask, only the truth remains till we meet again.